Hey everybody, this is Andrew from TS for Tech, and today I'm taking a look at this smartwatch from a company called Vigorun. That's Vigorun, and you can find this smartwatch on Amazon. And what I'm going to do today is just do an unboxing, take a quick look at the watch itself, and then I'll kind of follow up on the tail end of this video with some thoughts after using it for a few days, maybe a quick overview of the software. So this watch does run around $50. I think at the time of this video recording, it's $49 on Amazon. And it's got pretty decent reviews. Right now, I mean, if I'm looking at it, it has about 170 reviews and it has 4.7 out of 5 stars average. So from that perspective, it seems to be highly rated. I do want to thank Vigorun for sending this over to the channel for an honest review and unboxing. So I'm just going to go ahead and jump on into the unboxing. So it comes in just this black box. And you see the watch is here on the top, and then on the bottom you get a few other things. So thanks for choosing Vigorun, some information about their social media sites, and obviously get a manual, bunch of information there. Take a look at that later, I guess. Also have the charge cable, which is a magnetic type cable. So I don't know if you can see that. Similar to some of the older watches that I've seen that have this kind of magnetic clip. I think Fitbit at one point had something like this before they went to those kind of clamp style connectors. But basically magnetic. It's got two little prongs there for the power, and it's typical standard USB cable on this end. I got that. Then you have the watch. Now immediately when I take a look at this, to me it reminds me of the Samsung Gear S3, just in its design. Kind of that fairly large case and the strap. It looks like this. I don't have my Gear S3 anymore. It did end up dying on me. But otherwise I'd do a side-by-side comparison with that. But as you can see, it's pretty chunky, at least from a look standpoint, which is something I actually like in a watch. I don't like really slim looking watches myself. I do like these kind of more beefy type watches. So see here, little instructions on the screen. Now this is a 1.3 inch, what they're calling a high resolution full touch display. Not really sure on the resolution. I'll have to look that up and see if I can find some information about it. But it is a 1.3 inch display, and it is touch based. Now some other fitness watches that I've seen, they don't have touch screens. They usually have kind of a button interface and you can't really touch the screen. Now this is supposed to have a touch display. Now as you can see, I can't turn it on because it seems like the battery is dead. So it's going to be a little bit of time, I guess. Let me go charge this and then I'll come back and we'll continue the video. Okay, so I did charge that up. It didn't take that long actually, but here's what the watch looks like. This is the default watch face. So as you can see, it is a touch interface, so you can swipe. I'm sorry, so you can see this. You can swipe left and right to get to different settings. And it's pretty responsive, actually. You can swipe left and right, you can swipe up, you can get to your settings, you can change the brightness here. And there's 3 levels of brightness. I don't know if I mentioned that. But so you have like kind of low, medium, high, I guess. And the high seems pretty bright. I mean, I have fairly bright lights here on this in this video setup, so at least on the video screen it does look like you can see the screen pretty well, so the brightness is pretty good. Now on the back side of this, it has a dual LED bio tracking sensor. So in the center here you have 2 LEDs, allow it to detect your heart rate and whatnot. This does feature it's a plastic back, but it actually kind of looks like a carbon fiber. It doesn't, I don't think it is a carbon fiber. I think it's just a an embossed kind of plastic back there, but it looks kind of cool. You can see here at the top you have your connector for the magnetic charging cable. Like I said, your sensors in the center, and then your watch band. And I think this might be a 22 millimeter watch band. I'll have to double check. Hopefully, I think it's 22 millimeters. And it's got the little kind of spring connectors there, so you can get probably a wide assortment of additional bands on Amazon or any other place that you can put on this. Now, this band is kind of like a TPU material. It's not as soft and pliable as something like you would see on an Apple Watch or the Galaxy Active 2, but it is a decent material. It doesn't feel too bad. It does not have a rotating bezel, so this bezel it looks kind of like it might rotate, with the markings here, but it doesn't move. And you do have two buttons. So you can have this button, which if you press it, kind of turns the screen on and off right now, and then the top one kind of cycles through, basically simulates a swipe to the left. So if you kept swiping this way, you'd go through all the screens. So this does feature, I don't know if I said that already, 24/7 heart rate tracking, sleep analysis, so it can track your sleep, different sleep stages. Has a 260 milliamp hour battery, which is supposed to get about 14 days of battery life. And I would assume that's like an ideal scenario. Waterproof up to 50 meters. It does not have swim tracking, so if you're looking for a watch to track your swimming activities, this might not be the one for you, but it does work underwater, and you could use it swimming if you wanted to. Has all the standard watch features that you might expect. Smart notifications for calls and texts, activity reminder, so it'll warn you if you've been sitting too long and not moving, if you want to use that feature. Has a timer, stopwatch, alarms, all the kind of standard things you might expect in a fitness type watch or a fitness band. So like I said, screen is very responsive, and it actually looks pretty good. I don't know if you can really tell here on the video, but it's pretty crisp, pretty nice. Now, I think there's only 4 different watch faces. It's not like as customizable as some of the other watch faces on other brands where you can download additional ones, but you have a couple different options here. Yeah, 4 options, I guess. They all look kind of nice, so I guess that's up to you if you're really concerned about the watch faces and flexibility there. This one is a little bit limited in that way. So the app that you're supposed to use for this is called the VeryFit Pro app. Now what I'm going to do is download that app and then sync the watch to the app. And then I'll probably jump on to the computer and I'll do a little bit of screen recording and zip through some of the app features, I guess, after I wear this for a few days. So the idea will be I'm going to wear the watch, maybe I'll wear it to bed, sleep, activities for a few days, kind of see how the tracking works and how all the functions and features work. And then I'll jump to the computer. I'll review some of the screen share of the software on the phone and then give you kind of my summary of at least the first few days of wearing this up to a week. I'm not really sure how long I'll do it, but I will jump over to the computer here right now and we'll continue with the rest of the discussion. So I did end up wearing this for a few days this week, and as you can tell here, I was not very active. I was mostly sitting in my office working on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week, so not a lot of actual activity going on. But I did wear it around the house. I did wear it to sleep, and just to kind of get a sense of how the watch worked and how the app worked. So I'll say right off the bat, I mean, this is a budget device, and as I found, it has some good capabilities, but it's kind of like the bare minimum type of capabilities. So it does the tracking of your steps, it does your heart rate, it does sleep tracking, it does some activities, you can track workouts, you can do some of that stuff. It does not have a GPS, right? So you can do aided GPS with your phone and the app and things like that. But, again, very basic capability. And the app is pretty basic as well. So it's, if you've used a Fitbit app or some other thing like that, this one is all right. I just wouldn't say that it's like super feature rich at all, I guess. So if you look here, you can see, if you go on the details, you can see this, the week shows your activities, the distance that you walk, the steps, calories that you may have burnt based on its calculations, average distance and that sort of thing on a daily basis. And that's basically it, what you can see here. And that's on a weekly basis. Now, you can also go to the home page and you can switch it to days. So if I wanted to look, for instance, the sleeping that I had on whatever day this was, the 29th, you can see here, and it will show you both the hours. So it started at 10:27. I woke up at about 7 in the morning, and you can see your sleep pattern. So the deep sleep, light sleep, and when you were awake. And this is probably accurate, as much as Samsung Health shows on my Galaxy Watch Active 2, or when I used to wear the Fitbit to bed. This is typically what my sleep pattern it looks like. So kind of tossing and turning, some deep sleep, some light sleep. That's just how I sleep, I guess. So you can look at that on the daily basis. You can kind of switch days as well. So you can kind of slide this, which is a little weird. I wish you could just swipe the whole thing, but you basically have to click at the top and slide around. So you can see that stuff. And then you can also see on that daily basis your activity. So on the home page, you can basically see that stuff. And if you kind of scroll up, you can see the whole day. So you can see your activity at the top, how many steps and all that sort of thing, your daily target, how much is completed, and then you can scroll down for the sleeping. So that's basically it, right? So you have the sleep and then the heart rate. Now the heart rate thing, I'm not really sure if this is fully accurate. My other watches show like my resting heart rate is usually a little lower than this. And maximum heart rate, I don't know if I did anything really strenuous that day or it was in my sleep or whatever. 131 beats per minute, it showed as the max. But again, like, I don't know if the heart rate is fully accurate, because I think it was this day that I was looking at. Yeah, 152. That's totally not true, I don't think. And then that screws up the average, because then it says the average was 104, which is pretty high. So again, it might have just been maybe I didn't have the watch tight enough or whatever, but the heart rate was a little bit off, I think, for me, at least in the couple days I wore it, on the max and the average. Maybe the resting is close, I don't know, but it seems high at 80. I think on my other watches, usually around 70, 65, depending on, if I'm sleeping or just kind of sitting at my desk or whatever. So that's it. So on the homepage, you can see, like I said, you can view, you can flip the days around. You can share this somehow using some of these apps that it allows you to do that with. This little link icon on the top right just means it's connected to the smartwatch. So again, details you can look at in a week, month, whatever, and kind of see your trends over time. You can look at the device, so you can turn on the call alerts, to notify you when you're getting a call. You can turn on the sedentary alerts. So this is if you've been sitting for too long, kind of pings you and tells you to wake up, or not wake up, but stand up, move around. Alarms, messages, heart rate detection automatic, the wrist sense. So that's the whole, if you pick it up to look at it, whether it turns on or not. And then there's a couple other things here around the activity display. You can basically reorder or change the display settings there. You can change the device language. You can turn on and off the weather forecast if you want that or don't want that. And you can also tweak the heart rate zones if you want custom. You can turn on do not disturb and then reboot the device. You can check firmware. So this has the latest firmware, and then you can unbind it, which means just basically disconnect the Bluetooth connection with the phone. And then you can look at your user stuff. So under personal info, you'll have your weight, your target settings, some other system settings. It also is able to sync with Google Fit and connect with Strava. So if you use either of those, it's also interesting to do. They have a today's ranking, which looks to be like across all their users that are using the app, which is, I guess, kind of interesting. I guess interesting to see. But I don't believe you have the ability to kind of track and compete against your friends like you would on something like a Fitbit. Have frequently asked questions about, can't do things, doesn't work, kind of all of that. And some other settings, units, if you want miles or kilometers, those sorts of things. And really just a basic, just basic settings in the app here. And again, I mean, this might be enough for you. I mean, if this is all you care about is kind of just basic activity tracking, sleep tracking, heart rate, this is perfectly fine. It's just one of those things that I've seen and used other fitness trackers and other software that tends to be more feature rich in all of the ways that you can view the data, slice and dice, all of that. But again, from a basic perspective, seems pretty decent. The watch itself, comfortable to wear. Seems it gets pretty good battery life. Like I said, I charged it the first day that I got it, which was that Monday, and it's still on at 64% battery now. So today's Thursday, so Monday to Thursday, it only lost 40% or so of the battery, and that was kind of wearing it wearing it at least those 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So like I said, if you're interested in something that's, pretty decent looking, comfortable smartwatch with basic fitness features, you might want to take a look at this. So I may do a little bit more wearing this, maybe over a more extended period of time and kind of circle back and do another video in the future. But again, this is just kind of my first look, first few days of wearing it, first kind of look at the app, just to provide kind of that first look and overview. If you have any questions, go ahead and post those below. This is Andrew from T is for Tech. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.